All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are here live from Stratosphere Studios at Heal the Hood, our weekly health and wellness event brought to you by the several fabulous vendors of things healthy. Today's installment, we will be having information brought to you in the area of financial wellness. We need to be well in all kinds of ways, and finances is one of them. So, without further ado, we're going to have our financial experts introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they do and why it's good for you. So, who do we have here today? Introduce yourself and tell us what company you represent and what it is that you want people to know.
Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. My name is Keith Simon. I am, as they say, one of the financial gurus or financial gurus to be. Uh, really interested in taking care of my hood. So because of that, I'm actually in Heal the Hood Foundation, and we're definitely ready to do big things. Introduced this Heal the Hood Foundation by a young lady called Destiny, and she is definitely on the right path. I'm with a company called World Financial Group. World Financial Group is an Aegon and Transamerica company. We are in 50 states, including all provinces of Canada. Believe it or not, we are doing phenomenal things across the country, and our goal is literally to help at least 1 million families to be financially independent by the year 2020. We have just created, just coming back from one of our major national conventions, and we have just increased um, our goal to raise 10 million families financially independent by year 2025. How we plan on doing that is literally by creating and giving people more and more financial literacy. We have a wonderful book that came out about a year and a half, about 2 years ago now, and it's literally called Saving Your Future. This book is jam packed with information from from wellness to 401k to annuities, and jam packed with financial concepts. More so, concepts like how do you really decide how much interest rate that you're gonna get on your money, right? With something called a rule of 72. So we're really interested in letting our business folks out there as well as individuals understand that without taking care of your money, without the financial literacy, there's no way to take care of that money. We look around us, and a lot of our areas, everything is going up. When we talk about cost of living going up, we talk about inflation. We talk about something called as simple as the wealth formula. If you don't know how to get wealthy, you would not know that there's a formula for wealth. And yes, there is a formula for wealth, and this is what the rich and wealthy knows. And some of the other things that we profess is life insurance, right? One of our major aspects of why we do this business is to let people understand that life insurance has now transcends itself from just becoming a quote unquote death insurance, right? We have things that's now attached to life insurance like something called um, LB, right? Living benefits, where you can literally obtain living benefits while you're sick, while you're injured, while you're terminally ill, while you're critically ill, so that you're burden on your family. So I'm super excited. I'm just really just ready to answer any questions that anyone may have, and I tell you, I'm truly indebted with this with Heal the Hood Foundation 100%.
Okay, thank you. So, the life insurance piece, is that a new thing? These are new instruments that are on the market, or have they been around for a long time?
Hey, that's a very good question. You know, these things have been around for a very long time. Believe it or not, there's an instrument out there called the Index Universal Life Policy. It's been out since 1995, right? Think about it. Several years, and we have absolutely no idea. We're just scratching the surface with these products, right? This product came out, was $1 million product. Definitely could not be servicing us in the hood, But believe it or not, now we have that same life insurance policy starting at $100,000 for long-term care, living benefits, critical illness, chronic illness attached to this policy, not as a rider but rides with the policy. We talk about things like long like for example, when we talk about just the simplicity of term insurance. Outside of New York, there's term insurance with living benefits as well, where you can really trigger these living benefits to help take care of your family as well. So these are not really new things, but unfortunately, they were never brought to our quote unquote hood. So I'm bringing Wall Street to Main Street.
That's fabulous. So this walk on example. So this 25-year-old index. I don't remember what you called it, but one of those things or a term. One of the individuals here, the vendors here, these entrepreneurs, they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s. Let's just take one example of one of these products, and what are you recommending that if they were to take one of these products, what are they looking at? What are they paying for it? What do they get for paying for it? How does it help them in life as opposed to death? Whereas people can usually think of life insurance as, well, I pay for this insurance, and when I die, other people get the money. So you're saying that it doesn't only go that way. So just walk us through an example of what one can do and how it works for their benefit.
Awesome, awesome question. I actually just spoke to a young man that sat down with me just now, and he's partially stressed because he's not working. He's a part-time model, and he has two of his brothers that he wants to take care of, and that was his quest right now, is to really take care of them. However, I showed him where, as a 20-year-old, you can get this same life insurance policy. 100,000 would be maybe about $80 a month, and from that $80 a month, we use something called compound interest. With the credited method of the index, that simple $80 a month can bring you 25,000 to help take care of your brothers as well as yourself over time.
How fast does that work?
Good question. Well, of course, money grows slowly, right? Money grows with time. But one of the things that are including in that index universal life will be long-term care, right? Long-term care as well as critical illness. So it's not just about how fast the money will grow, but it's whether the money is there for you on pennies on a dollar. So you're literally giving, just like car insurance, you're transferring the risk of you getting ill and then not being able to take care of your family to that life insurance company, where you can then reap the benefits. So it comes two folds. One is the living benefits, where that death benefit could be taken to help take care of yourself if you're getting long term, if you are unfortunately happen to fall into the issue of long term care or long term disability. And then of course you have your money growing for you, compound interest over time. So we're looking at 10, 15, or even 20 years from now. One of the things that is very, very powerful about this product is that you can also add money in, as we talk about using it similarly to a bank. Okay. The second thing that happens is more than 65 or even more percent of Americans have no retirement. There is no retirement in the hood for sure, right? So we talk about three-legged years of society, no pension anymore, barely 401k anymore. And the little that we have, most people cannot even survive on that, never mind trying to survive years from now with inflation and taxes.
How fast does, like you said, it does grow slowly. So he's 20 odd years old and he starts one of these at $80 a month. Um, is there a point in time by which he's not eligible to collect, that it has to build up over time? And is it $80 a month or more if he chooses to indefinitely, or do you pay for it for X amount of years and then it just sits there?
Good question. Well, based on compound interest, life insurance is for life, right? However, there is a point where the interest, because of this young man, there's a point where by age 65, his interest would then pay for the policy, so that he would technically be getting a free policy at that point, right? At the same time, he would be able to borrow that money from the policy tax-free. He will be able to get a loan from the policy tax-free. And no, he does not have to wait until age 65 to take that money. Once that money is accumulated, he can absolutely take that money.
Okay, so right, so over time, his $80 a month accumulates to a level that that amount. Let's say it's I don't know, $80,000 or whatever. The interest on that is greater than his monthly. Now that interest is what's paying for his policy.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Is there anybody else that has any other questions?
Yes, there's a model called health is your wealth. And we know that there's a lot of people who is focused on making sure that they get their health right for their wealth to receive their wealth because, you have the younger generation, they live for the day, right? But we understand that with money growing slowly but surely, we want to maintain our health so we can align with our wealth.
That's
What do
right.
you think about the principle, your health is your wealth and aligning our wealth with our health?
I don't think I could say it any better. It's just the bottom line, right? It doesn't matter how much you make. If you're not healthy, it would all wash away somehow, right? We have a phrase in the financial industry that talks about you're one health hazard away from poverty. So in the line of the question that this gentleman just poses is absolutely simultaneously you have to both take care of your health and wealth. Great question.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, you have one more question? There we go.
Thank you for the health and wealth portion.
Sure.
Dealing with credit. There's another thing that, since we educate in the hood, right? There's this thing called trade line and trade bonds. I've been working with a lot of elders, and I've been sharing that the elders have the ability to help the young ones to build their credit. But a lot of our people don't understand the science of passing credit line down to people so they can build their credit. What do you think about trade line and trade bonds?
Hey, that's an interesting question. It's something that I actually did with a couple of people a couple of years ago. The the bottom line with that is something called trust. Period. Do you trust your brother or sister to even help them to furnish their apartment, right? Go in with them and with a line of credit. Do you even trust them to help them to buy a car, right? So if you cannot trust them with those two things, the unfortunate thing is you would definitely not trust them with 50, 100, or even $150,000 worth of credit, line of credit. Great question again.
All right. We got one more question. We got one more question.
Go on.
So this all align with my question. We talk about our health as our wealth, right? And then we talk about the science of credit line and trade line and trade bonds to help build up the wealth which will align with our health.
Right.
Now you said something key in regards to trust. Now, what do you think about as a financial representative? What do you think about the whole concept of business trust compared to a regular LLC or S corp or C corp? The reason I ask is my aunt is an accountant, and one time I told her, "Do you do accounting for trust, business trust?" And she said, "Trust is only for wealthy people." And I said, "Whoa, what's going on here?" So, what we've been on the LLC, we've been doing business from the low end. How do we do business from the high end? So I appreciate you said about the trust, about business trust.
Hey, great, another great question. I don't know, keep them coming. Trust. I'll put it in. I may not be able to put it in so many words as our president, but if you pay close attention, our president talks about his trust, living trust, over and over and over, and it's one of not to be political, but it's one of the things that really sticks out when he talks about passing down generational wealth, right? We talk to people about SEP IRAs and simple IRAs, which a lot of times we have no clue what these things are, right? But they're a part of how we can pass down our trust. A SEP IRA, $54,000 a year as a business owner, you can put away to help to build that, right? And then you have to have a trust, literally, right? Have someone take care of that trust. Have a living trust. Have that money passed down. For example, let's say you do get someone to help you with 150,000. Have that person put that $150,000 in a life insurance policy and let that insurance policy be entrusted in you so that you will never lose money.
Okay, so the word trust came out, and it sparked a bifurcated